I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Hello and welcome to a beautiful Monday here in South Florida. Big old weekend, lots of stuff going down over the weekend. I know you guys were at the introductory Boca Seafood Fest at Meisner Park on Saturday.
Loved it. It was so fun. They did a great job.
Yeah, it was great fun.
Putting on some cooking demos and the such. Just keeping the people entertained and yelling at the other ones that weren't.
There was only one person yelled at in Virginia's defense. It should have been me for doing a British accent for 43 minutes of the presentation.
Okay. It's pretty amazing.
I had to break character.
It's good. You can't. Gotta keep
I
doing
was
it.
too committed at that point. You couldn't.
Gotta keep doing it, baby. That's it. Yeah, there are a lot of things going on. We were hoping to get to the boat show yesterday, and that was the plan. But then we popped off at the Old Key Limehouse after church, and we're just going to check the ending of the Florida game. And it took a little while, boy. They were full. And so to get a table and all that kind of stuff, by the time we got out of there, like, all right, I don't think I feel like tackling the downtown, because that's kind of a to-do.
It is. You got to go there fresh.
Yes, and I was not feeling fresh. I kind of lost my mojo, so we did not make it to that, but we did do some spring training baseball on Saturday. Had a lovely time. It was very nice out there with the Auto Nation people.
It's a big weekend.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. It was lovely. It was just enough. It's just enough.
Did you chill on Sunday? We kind of got peaceful.
Well, yesterday was Key Limehouse, so yeah, so we were there. But then after the Gator game, we went home, and then I had to just get ready for today's show. So that was all that kind of was. But all said, it's great. I'm enjoying the weather's perfect right now. So it's very good. And there's still some really entertaining stuff that is coming up. We're going to be doing polo, I think, coming up here in a couple weeks. So that'll be a good time. Let me see. Other things going on. Spring break, I think, is going to be wrapping up. I know that our kids in Palm Beach County are on spring break this week. But I think as far as the college students ravishing our beaches, I think that should be wrapping up here, right, in a couple of weeks. Maybe a week or two.
Yeah.
You'll know when all the condoms are off the ground.
Yes, right. And all the Borgs are gone off the beach wall. Yeah, they were going through just confiscating those things. Somebody let us know. Borg stands for Blackout Rage Gallon. And
Blackout
it's
Rage
cheap
Gallon.
alcohol that they put into typically like a big old milk jug, and then they draw on the side of it, and they name them and all that kind of stuff. So you just walk around with your own cheap booze to get hammered with.
Yeah, when you were younger, you would get the cheap booze.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. I mean, if you can just make yourself one Borg and it costs you like $5 or $10, and then, you're good for the rest of the day, you're going to save a ton of money.
But that is a young person's game. If I was to drink Strawberry Hill Boone's Farm now and get all fucked up on that, I would have a hangover for 7 months.
Oh, it was unbelievable. The stuff we used to have, it would be the grain alcohol mixed with a fruit punch, like a Hawaiian punch or something like that. So you had the sugar and then just this insanely strong alcohol that would make you go blind.
It was always in some gross big-ass bucket.
It was. So gnarly.
We used to make it in trash cans.
Yeah. You really do have to have the constitution of like a 20-year-old to be able to consume that stuff. Or it'll kill you otherwise.
You don't know enough yet.
Yeah, you don't. And Jeff sent an email. He said, I want to follow up. You're talking about the best cities for St. Patty's Day. I've been to all that you had on the list multiple times. And I got to tell you, Savannah, I've been there at least 7 times for their St. Patty's Day, and it is by far number one on the list of all the other cities you had. I had New York and Chicago. New York and Chicago were lower than I thought. Reno, I was like, where did that come from? Reno was up there at like number 2 in the country.
But Savannah is the best.
Yeah, Savannah was right up there, and I've seen photos. I love Savannah. Don't get me wrong. He said, yeah, you will not find more bars or restaurants in a smaller area than you will there, from River Street to a few blocks inland. You can't spit without hitting a bar. River Street gets busy with people walking the riverfront and all the outdoor activities and festivities, but the other parallel streets inland have awesome stops. the coolest part about the Savannah bar scene is all the random basement bars that you stumble upon. Yeah, there are a couple down the end if you walk down River Street. Can't tell you how many new ones I find each time I go, but I forgot exactly how to get there. As a fellow day drinker, I know you and the Queen would absolutely love it. It is worth adding to your bucket list. It's definitely a trip you need to book out a year in advance. I've already booked my lodging. Next year lands on a Tuesday, so the weekend before is the best weekend to go. Yeah, I just thought it looked too insane, if that makes sense. And look, I love Savannah, and we love going. We've been there many times, and I love the bar scene. But I like going when it's chill. Maybe it's summertime or something like that, and you got people around, but it's not out of control.
You want a bunch of bars without any people in them, really.
Basically,
Yeah, I get it.
I enjoy when there's, a few people to make it feel like, but I would, if you had to say packed bar versus completely dead empty bar, I'm choosing empty bar every day.
If everybody's in the bar getting tipsy, Kevin wants out.
Yeah, there's too much that goes on.
I'm
man.
with you. I don't want tumbleweeds, but I want, some of the regulars. Or
Space.
But I don't want spring break shit. Hell
Yeah.
no.
You don't want to be involved in a super spreader.
No, I don't want to be involved in when I accidentally bump somebody in the chest or on their arm. What the fuck, bro? They want to fight because they will win.
Yeah, really what my thing is, I don't want to wait for drinks.
Yeah,
So
that's tough.
It. To me, I want a bar is full to the point where I'm not standing in line or I'm not having to wait to get a cocktail. So once it gets to that point and we're standing there for a while, it's 10 minutes and I can't get a drink, I'm like, eh.
My buddy left the place because of that this weekend. He said it was 30 minutes before they even came to ask him for a drink.
Yeah.
He's like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I have the shakes.
No, exactly. You're right. If you're an alcoholic, that's a big 30 minutes.
It's a long time.
Yeah. And I got an email here saying, I just was working detail on South Beach at the SLS Hotel. And who did I see? Friend of the KVJ Show, Tyler Cameron.
Ooh.
He was at a party thrown by Alex Cooper of Call Her Daddy podcast fame. It was for her wellness brand, ironically called Unwell. Everyone looked like they had a great time.
It was cute. I saw the video that Tyler and Tate put up from the Unwell party.
Yeah, I saw one where he was doing an exercise class on the beach, and it was a whole bunch of cute girls, and he's like, all right, you ready to do burpees? And they're like, no. And he's like, what if I took my shirt off? And they're like, yes. And that's how he bribed the girls there to do burpees.
Yeah, the girls got it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not doing burpees till you get half naked.
Mm-hmm.
Burpees are terrible.
Burpees are awful.
It's got to come with some kind of
A perk.
value.
Yes.
There's the party set up itself. Yeah, the SLS is a nice little place. They got a great pool there.
Wow, that's a big ass pool.
Yeah, it's pretty good size. Yeah, my daughter's friend, he lives in the apartment complex, kind of overlooking the SLS, and so you get to see all the ragers going on there. Yeah, it's good. It's a cool little place. They got they always have good stuff going on there. And got another celebrity sighting here. Don't know if you can pick it out, but that is at church. Do you see our celebrity in the crowd, Bird? There, if you're watching YouTube on KVJ TV. Yeah. Who's our celebrity in there in that photo?
Oh, wow. The Virginia Sinicki with a panda?
Yeah. Looks like the Sinicki's leaving Mass.
What are you doing in the middle over there?
How do they have cameras on us at Mass?
Yeah.
I don't know, but someone's taking your picture.
Yeah. Got eyes on you. Better look out there, Sinicki.
A lot of eyes around these parts.
So many eyes.
So you're still doing the weekly church thing, huh?
Oh, yes, because
Okay.
Rocco has his first communion coming up. You can't skip. You got to do the work.
So how many weeks does that require you going in total?
I would say
Is it
probably about like 8 months.
Okay.
Wow, church every week, therapy. You're quite enlightened.
I'm still broken, damaged, fucked.
Oh, I might have to book a session this week. Maybe two.
So will you stay active in the church even when you get through with Rocco's classes?
That's a good question. I was thinking about that on Sunday. I think it's healthy. I think it's good for Rocco. Rocco enjoys church. So as long as he's still into it and we still, are vibing it, yeah,
Okay.
I would like to do that for him, with him, all of us.
Okay. That's good. What time's your service start?
9:30.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
That's
these are
early.
up and early.
Back in the day, our church started at 7 a.
Oh,
Did it really?
Yeah,
Wow.
that was some bullshit.
F that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I never heard anyone starting at 7 unless it
7?
was Easter.
Yeah, it was the 80s.
I can't get down with that.
Yeah. No, our earliest is 8. So, but even then, it's
8
like
is early.
it is early. Yeah.
And
But
you got to wake up in the 6 o'clock hour? No.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, we switched to the later ones now. I got Michael here said, so when you guys move to the new studio, you should do something epic on the last day in the old studio. Some kind of crazy stunt. Silly string fight all over the console, water balloon fight, shaving cream, get Super Pie to come back, grilled cheese party that blows out the electric again. You know, something crazy.
Super Pie comes in here and urinates all over
He
it.
just pisses all over the equipment. Super piss.
It's just super pee.
Super piss.
Yeah.
No, you're not seeing Super Pie for quite a long time. He may never come back.
Oh, he's dead.
Oh, dude. Kevin
Well-
chokeslammed him straight to hell.
Zombie Super Pie?
He's not dead. He's just broken, much like
Yeah.
you.
He's got to heal. I'm sure he'll put it back together.
Time. He'll by next March 14th, maybe he'll have forgotten about the pain.
You may see a Hulk Hoagie, a zombie Hulk Hoagie before a Super Pie.
The only thing about that is this studio becomes, I believe, the IRK studio. And so they're going to want all the equipment and all that kind of stuff intact. So if we
Piss
came in
free.
They don't want to cover
yeah,
it.
if we pissed and dumped water all over it and all that kind of stuff, yeah, I'm sure they would not be too thrilled with that.
And we're really not monsters, I swear. We wouldn't piss all
We're
over the...
kidding.
Yes.
We wouldn't actually do that. Not at least sober.
No.
Another email. This one is about the Real ID from Cesar. He said, yeah, the Real ID deadline is not something that just showed up. It's been known for probably 2 years. People were just procrastinating. I had seen that in Miami-Dade. They did a report on it, and now the lines are out just insane to get your license at the DMV. Some people were getting in line and then selling their spot for as much as $250.
Wow.
So it would be an appropriate time for us to play the DMV Sucks song at the Crawfish Festival, right?
Yeah.
I guess it
topical.
could, yeah. Or just the people that waited so long suck. So, I mean, I don't know. I think what he's trying to say is don't blame the DMV, blame the knuckleheads that waited so long. And he said, you've got a Real ID if you have the star logo. And a lot of people actually already do. So it's the people who have not really updated anything in a long time. They're kind of getting stuck now.
Yeah, I've already got the star on mine. I didn't even know that's what it was.
Yeah, Cesar said, I've had mine since March of 2021, just to give you an idea how long, these people have had to get this. So, yeah, it's kind of, if you have to stand in line, it's kind of on you. Nina said, here's the reason we need to worry about sinkholes. Okay. Florida is running out of drinking water due to overdevelopment. Seawater infiltrates the table, and hello, sinkholes. We need to get our politicians on this before it's too late.
I do wonder if that's what I hear sometimes. My house is so loud, next level loud, especially recently.
Well, you got the ghosts in there too. I'm sure they're not quiet.
Well, you wonder, is it ghost? Is it murderer? Is it pipes?
Bad plumbing,
Yeah, it's
leaky gas.
It sounds like part of my house has arthritis, and it's getting up to stretch. It's like, oh, crickle, 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 crickle.
Your house sounds like you.
It does, actually.
yeah.
It does sound like me.
They're so much alike.
But that's the best way I can describe it. My house sounds like it's got arthritis at time, but it doesn't sound like an animal. Animal scurries and scampers, and this is more like a one-off. Like, oh. It's almost like my house is in pain.
It's creaking.
Yes, but at weird spots of the house. And then I looked at the bottom, and all along the bottom, there's a big crack that's starting to happen. I'm going, Al, how serious is this shit?
Sinkhole.
Ah.
How freaked out would you be if sinkholes started to appear more frequently?
It would be horrifying. And that would suck so bad. It's kind of like if all of a sudden dragons were a problem we had to deal with. Sinkholes on the reg?
That would be horrifying.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know what happened right before Surfside? Cracks.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
It would be at least a good story. My house would be ruined, but we got some material for the next day.
You can only save one thing. What do you save? Your house is falling into a sinkhole. What do you grab?
It's an object, not a person.
Well, we know you grab Honey Face.
Well, you have to
Get
answer.
over here, Honey Face.
That's right.
My guitar. Yeah. Or guitar. Oh, you only get one?
Just one.
So is my phone in my pocket?
No, your phone is never in your pocket. It's on the roof of your car, waiting for you to drive off.
Everyone else, yes, you know.
It's on the roof of my car, soaked in rain. Gosh, that's tough because you have your laptop, you got your phone. I got to go my giddy up. We'll go old school.
Guitar.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you grabbing, Virginia?
Gosh, probably my blue dog art.
Your what?
My blue dog art. I have a picture of a blue dog on the wall.
That's what you grab.
Yeah, it's pretty valuable.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of value are we talking here?
I'm not going to tell you because you know my door code. Sneak in like a thief.
I want that bullshit. I'm a figure guy. You know that.
Doug said, Kev, so yesterday I was browsing YouTube. I ran across an old favorite of mine. It is a 1950 sci-fi movie, The Terror Beyond Space. It's about a creature that gets on a spaceship, one where the astronauts, both men and women, smoke in space and shoot their guns inside the rocket at the monster. They finally kill it by opening the air locker. If it sounds familiar, it is cited as the inspiration for Dan O'Bannon's screenplay for the 1979 Ridley Scott film Alien.
I love that movie.
Yeah, so this is, I guess, the inspiration for it. It's corny and at times funny, but I like it as I do a lot of 50s sci-fi.
She's one of my all-time favorite characters in a movie. Sigourney Weaver's character in that.
Yeah.
She's a badass in that movie.
Yeah, she
Both
was.
of them, or all
Right.
the movies.
Yeah. And Engineer Keith talking about Severance that wrapped up their second season. Saw it. It ended well. It's an interesting concept. I think I've told you a bit about it, where it's like you go into work and they sever your mind. So when you go in there to work, you have no idea who you are on the outside world, and vice versa. And that's what it is.
That's so weird.
It is. It is kind of almost a sci-fi concept in a sense. And the show's just weird. Some of the characters talk weird, and the scenes are weird, and it kind of has that odd, like, little look to it. It probably is a lot like a Black Mirror would be my guess. And I've only seen maybe 2 Black Mirror episodes, but it seems very similar. Like you'd probably like
I'll tell you what.
both those shows.
When Black Mirror hits, it hits hard. It is great.
Yeah.
When it misses, you're like, all right, whatever.
Right.
But when it hits, mate, you kind of think about it days later.
Yeah,
The good
I love
ones.
that. Yeah.
I mean, Pig Fucker, we talked about that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get back into that show one of these days. And Engineer Key said, yeah, Adam Scott's character, Mark Scout, was motivated to get severed because his wife passed away. It's kind of interesting to see the motivation for everybody to do that. So, and that's really kind of what it is. And then what you wind up happening, Virginia, is you have what your innie, the person at work, versus the outie. And so they may start to develop almost different personalities. And what happens in this show, love interests. So that's where the twist is.
So yeah, do you have like a work romance?
You think about the work wife, that's what this whole basic season was about, is that when you're severed, and you think about the innocence of it because you have no recollection. So now what they're seeing is a lot of these work wives or work spouses when you're in there, because that's all any knows. They don't have any other life. So every single day they wake up and they're still at work. Could you imagine how hell that would be, how hellish it would be? Especially if you're just kind of lukewarm on your job or hated it.
You never get a break.
That's all your life is work. Yeah. And so, they want a little bit of action. So they're trying to get these at-work relationships going on, which actually kind of can mess up their outie's life,
Fascinating.
So imagine when your husband goes to work, he's dongling it in somebody else. And then he comes home and has no idea that he just banged his coworker.
And he's so happy. He's got a big smile on his face.
Yeah. Yeah, it's doing well. They say the series has become Apple TV's most watched drama, 3.68 billion viewing minutes in the U.S. for the first 6 episodes of Season 2, surpassing all other Apple TV series except for Ted Lasso's Season 3. So that'll give you an idea where this show is.
Huh.
And Ted Lasso is big, so. That's huge.
And you love Ted Lasso, too.
I did. I thought Ted Lasso was very good. I'm apprehensive about the new season because I think they ended it perfectly. And I don't know that they should be touching it. And it almost feels like they're touching it because it was so popular and they want to make more money.
Well, I got money on the table.
And that just never seems to work out great.
It's not for the storyline. It's just for the cash grab.
Now, I'm not saying they can't still write a good storyline because they could
Right,
come
they
up
could.
with some heaters.
They could, but you look at the motivation. You always hate because I've seen shows that have done that where they wrap perfectly at the end of a season and like, no, you know what? Let's keep doing, and then they just screw the whole thing up, and then you're like, going, I don't even like that show anymore. Do you know the show American Dad? They said it's going to make a comeback on Fox as the long-running Seth MacFarlane animated sitcom nears its 400th episode. I didn't know they were still making that. They say the move comes as TBS, its home since 2014, discontinues its original programming. And the show's going to continue to air reruns on TBS, Adult Swim, and True TV.
How many cartoons does he have?
That's what I thought, too. I was confused.
Because I'm pulling it up. I've never heard of it before. It looks just like Family Guy.
It does look a lot like Family Guy.
Is it a spin-off of Family Guy?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how they're doing it. Well, I guess if you loved it.
It looks the same.
It does.
Right. And this is kind of crazy. They say Apple TV is reportedly losing over $1 billion per year, despite spending $5 billion on shows like Ted Lasso. With 45 million subscribers compared to competitors like Netflix, that has 300 million, and Disney Plus, it has 126 million. Apple TV is one of the least subscribed services out there.
Huh. How are they turning a profit then?
I don't know. They said they still had 94 billion in overall profit from last year. Yeah, I don't know how they're making it happen, but apparently they are. And Jbird, you might like this. It's coming to Netflix. I know you like the whole Willy Wonka thing.
Love it.
Netflix has ordered a reality competition series titled The Golden Ticket, inspired by Ronald Dahl's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
That's just my game.
The show will combine elements of strategy, adventure, and social dynamics as contestants strive to secure entry into a retro-futuristic chocolate factory using a golden ticket and navigate through various challenges.
Ooh, could you do it?
I would love to do it.
Have they already cast it?
Yeah, it's probably already filmed.
Don't know. They say they acquired the intellectual property in 2021, so here it comes. So I don't know how far into production they are, but man, that could be your show.
Would they cast an old dog? Or is it just for the youth?
Big Brother always casts one old guy.
Just one now. And it's pretty much ageism at that. Everyone's picking on. They always get the old fuck out. Like, I get it. Everyone gang up on the old guy every single season.
It's like the show doesn't start till we get the old fucker out of here.
Exactly. They throw one bone to the old person, and everyone in the house wants to get them out so they all can pork.
Tricks on them. You show up, you're the old guy, and you're ready to pork.
Well, let's do it.
Yeah.
No, let's not do it.
The one thing that we talked about earlier was the Snow White movie, which underperformed at $43 million. How much did you say it cost to make that thing?
Minimum $250.
Wow.
And I think it's more.
No.
There's even talks that it was even rumored to be near the $1 billion mark of making it. I don't think it was that much, but it at minimum was $250 million, and for $34 million on the opening weekend, that's a shitty weekend.
So I'm just wondering how much of it was the character who played, or the girl who played Snow White, kind of pissing people off with her interviews.
I think a lot of it was that. The internet, they all got together and ganged up on that entire franchise. They go, we don't like her. We don't like what she's saying. And there's so many videos. I mean, there's 30 videos posted daily on YouTube with subscribers with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, and they're just going in on her, just not at all like the whole weird. They play that clip constantly, and the internet didn't like her. She also, she had a pretty rough PR tour.
Yeah, I'm just curious for the person who didn't get caught up in all that and don't care anything about her interviews or what she has to say, just want to see a good movie, where they would put that. It's 74% right now on the Rotten Tomatoes. Pretty good score for the fans. Terrible for the critics. They're at 44% on that. So
I am hearing even her haters are saying she did do a good job in the movie.
Okay.
But the movie itself sucked. It's not a good movie.
Gotcha.
But she can sing. She can do all that.
okay.
I think she just comes off a little entitled, and people don't like that.
All right. Yeah, it's an interesting thing now where I would imagine that it was this Disney that put this on, or is it Sony or somebody like that?
Yeah, it's a Disney thing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering in the future how they might approach press junkets and interviews with some of their stars saying, we can't afford to spend this amount of money on a movie, and then the person does one or two polarizing interviews.
And undermines the whole entire project.
Right.
Well, that's what one of the channels was talking about, how typically when you had a Disney princess or a Disney prince, when they would do the tour, they almost understood you're kind of an extension of the character. You're kind of saying the right thing.
Right.
You're not being controversial. You're there to sell the movie.
Snow White wouldn't pop off like that.
Yeah, and that's how it typically went. It wasn't like that this time.
Well,
and then they pit them two together, Gal and her,
Right.
as enemies.
Right. And, I think that my guess, because she started talking about this Snow White, I think it was 2022. So, and what really, exacerbated the issue between, Israelis and Palestinians, which they're on either side of that, was, the October 7th thing that happened, which was, I think, after they had it all cast. So they're probably like, oh, great. So our protagonist is, one side of the argument, and our antagonist is the other side of it. Perfect.
And the internet loved it.
Yeah.
they really did. Well,
Yeah.
it started off right off the bat with the whole Seven Dwarfs situation. That was a big controversy on the internet. They reshot stuff. Then they did the animation for the Seven Dwarfs. That caused a stir. Then you
Yeah.
have them two not liking each other.
Right.
Then her going on the red carpet. It was a lot of drama.
I would think if I've hired an actress and, the way we are now, you got to really just watch it, that I would probably put in their contract and everything. I would withhold some financial incentive to say, you mention anything that is polarizing, political, or just stay away from it. Just
Don't turn
laugh
people off.
Yeah, just laugh and be like, I don't know that kind of stuff. I know Snow White.
I'm Snow White.
I know princesses. That's what I know.
I know Sleepy and Sneezy and Doc and Squeezy. And
Right.
Then someone's going to say, you're not using your platform for the greater good. And then I would just say, well,
I'd say that's not what we
the
did.
company,
Yeah.
they're here to make money.
Right. That's just it. Yeah, no, not on our time. I think we got a $250 million investment into this. Like, this is not for you to now have a platform and go out there and start, saying whatever your personal beliefs are. Let's not do that.
And I'm not saying you can't do that. Go ahead and do that if you want, but just don't be surprised if you don't have any.
Well, the thing that I would imagine they could bitch about is she was saying these kind of comments while she was talking about their movie.
Right.
To me, yeah, if you want to, look, you can say all that stuff after you're done with this project, but we got you locked up right now.
There was a lot of people, too, who wanted the traditional Snow White story told. And
Yeah.
that was part of her PR tour, was saying, it's not that. This is different. The guy stalking her is weird. We're not going to be doing that. Kind of almost talking down and kind of enlightening everybody of what this new version's going to be and why it's going to be better.
I just, if I were one of the Disney bosses, I would require media training for my stars to say, let's go through some tough questions you might get and let's practice with you on how to answer them. Because, for a lot of people, if you're kind of poo-pooing, which she did on the old Snow White story, a lot of the classic fans, you're going to piss off a lot of people just with that alone. Where she came off saying, oh, the story's weird, it's creepy, it's blah, blah, blah. And if you're a person that loved that story, it's like they're calling you weird and creepy.
Well, that's what people were saying.
It's insulting to the franchise that's hiring you. Mm-hmm. You're pooping all over it.
Right. So I think if I were, I'd be like, moving forward, this is just it. And then if you do pop off like that, I'm withholding 50% of the salary you're going to make. So, yeah, if we're going to make a lot less money, so are you. Congratulations. And then on top of it, Disney had a tough thing on Saturday. They had a fire break out at Disney's Epcot, And ironically, it seemed like it was with a cooler that was in the Ratatouille kitchen.
Any word on where the rat was when the fire broke out?
No word if it was the rat that caused the fire, but it was quite a dust-up. They had some serious smoke coming off that thing from the videos I saw.
Where was Donald Duck? That duck runs hot. He's got
Yeah.
trying to light that place on fire for the insurance money.
Yeah, we need to speak to the duck and the rat. They better have a good alibi.
Virginia's got a good point. She was saying, yeah, you know, when you really think about Ratatouille, it's pretty gross. Rats are cooking your food.
Yeah.
Don't we try to do everything we can to keep rats out of the kitchen? And now we made this guy the head chef?
Yeah.
And I do love that cartoon, but yeah, when you really break it down, you're like, shit, you know, rats cooking my food?
Was that rat washing his paws?
Exactly.
Don't know.
Was he scratching his balls?
Oh, you know, rats love to scratch their balls.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I know people in the kitchen do.
Nice email here. Thank you very much. SP Lover Lori says, thank you guys for being so real and keep me up to date on the Daily Dirt. I laugh out loud every day. Listen to the show, especially the ATS. Through you together, pure magic and guaranteed belly laughs. I hit the like button 2 times daily. Be sure to watch William Corgan's video podcast, The Magnificent Others. Okay, thank you.
Scratch your balls and hit the like button.
That's
There
right.
you go.
There you go. That's how you do it, y'all. All right. Well, thank you very much for being here on a Monday. Enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.